Hey everyone, welcome to a new series I'm starting called Best Game Ever. This is a series where I will be talking about and sharing the best games that I think I've ever played. And this is not accuracy, but like the most fun games I've ever played. Alright, so here we go. It's myself the great versus poor opponent. Alright, and I have the black pieces, so this was a game that was played when I was 1100 rated around. Okay, e4 was the first move played. I responded with e5, and we got a Petrov's defense. And here my opponent played a suboptimal move. Not he should have taken here, or maybe played something with four knights or three knights. And instead my opponent played d3, and now I got into a position where I have all of my development, and I was ready to castle short. And my opponent played c4. Very aggressive, but at the same time it kind of weakens this pawn here. So I decided to go into an attacking game. So I castled long, and we both prepared our attacks. And here, this is the position of which I'm most proud because the computer doesn't like it, which is why I don't have evaluation on here. But I like it because it was a most creative idea that I came up with, and I played g5. And obviously this is attacked by two pieces, and therefore it can be taken. So my opponent did take. He played bishop takes g5, and then I played h6, giving up yet another pawn. My opponent's like, okay, sure, I'll take that as well. And then here I went on, bam, bishop takes h3. You cannot take the bishop because of the pin on your king. So my opponent kind of freaked out. He played g3. Okay, I mean, obviously, if he did not play g3, I was going to take here, and that would be bad, right? So he plays g3, but a better move might have been to defend that pawn instead of doing that. Not that move. That was not what he played. Instead, he played g3. I played rook takes g3 check because of my nice bishop on c5 giving a pin to the king. That pawn on f2 is pinned, and there is no way that rook can be captured. So after my opponent played king to h2, I played bishop takes f1. I took the rook on f1, sacking my rook, which is on g3, and then I brought my other rook into the game with check. Alright, bishop blocks, knight h5 check, hanging my queen, but not really because it's a pin. And now my opponent played king to h4, attacking my knight. You can notice in this position, the knight covers these two squares, the bishop covers this square and this square, right? The king has one, two, three squares, right? And this bishop might soon fall after the move f6, so the king didn't really want to be on that file anymore. So he played king h4. King h2 might have been better to stay away from the danger, but king h4 was played. And now I played queen to e6. Now, the knight is hanging, this bishop is hanging, and my opponent chose to take the bishop on f1. And now I played bishop takes f2 check, sacking my knight. Rook h8 check. And now there's only one move because the bishop covers h4 as does the rook. The queen takes the g4 square away, and now the final blow comes after bishop h6 and queen g6 checkmate. Okay, so now let's turn on the evaluation and see what the computer thought about my game. Okay, it likes e4. Let's go into Petrov's. Okay, now it's giving about equalish, a little bit more to white. Let's go at the end when white castles. It's giving black a tiny edge here, just a tiny edge, and then after the move queen to e7, it gives white the edge again. After long castles, white has an advantage of 1.2. 1.2. White was winning here. And then after a couple more moves, g5 was played. White still has an advantage. After white took the pawn on g5, and I played h6, here was the critical moment in the game. White took the pawn on h6. And now black, as you can see here on the left hand side, has a, an advantage of 2.5, which is enormous. That is a swing of nearly like 4 points. And now after bishop takes h3, g3, and rook takes g3, it's almost completely winning for me, or not almost, completely winning for me because of the 14-point advantage here, and there was checkmate soon to follow, as you can see. When did it first say that I had a forced checkmate? Let's see. Um, no, now I have only 8-point advantage, and after this move, it goes down to 5. Wow. And now I have a mate in 5 after king h4, because if king h2, then the advantage or the survival of the white king remains a little bit. But after king h4 and bishop f2, there was no way to salvage this game for white, and that was a lovely mate. So guys, hope you enjoyed the game I shared with you, and if you like the content, please subscribe and like this video, and feel free to share your comments down below as well. Until next time.